I spent the entirety of my 20s in a deep state of depression. And no matter what the circumstances were or what the situation was, it just felt impossible for me to feel joy in any sort of sustainable or meaningful way. So today I wanted to talk to you about the one mindset shift that helped lift me out of this pit of despair. Because for the first time in my life, it finally feels like I'm starting to turn a corner. It feels like depression isn't casting this big shadow over my entire existence all the time. So if you feel like that's an experience that you can relate with and you want to start healing, my hope is that this video will help provide you with some different perspective on your life, no matter what your circumstances are. Now, objectively, my experience in my 20s was great. Way better than most people and way better than I deserved, for sure. I excelled academically, professionally, I dated, partied, traveled, and made good money, and I acquired a lot of things. So how is it possible that this was actually the worst period of my life? How could I have and be doing all of these things and yet still feel so empty to the point where I would attempt to end it all for myself? The fact is, I know I'm not the only one out there who feels this way, because every single minute, another man out there somewhere takes his own life, and that's only accounting for half of the population. You know, it fucking sucks to wake up every single day hating your life, especially when you feel like there's absolutely no reason for you to feel depressed. Like, everything could be perfect on paper, and you have no idea why you can't seem to find any sort of joy or fulfillment in your life, right? You keep telling yourself that maybe if I just get that girl or that car or that watch or that job, everything's gonna be okay. These are the exact same things that I would tell myself. And I was just in this constant cycle of trying to achieve and outdo and acquire more and more and more. But eventually what I realized is that there is literally nothing in this material world that will actually make you happy. Because every time I achieved one of those things, sure, maybe I felt better for a day or a week or maybe even a month, but inevitably the shininess will fade and the darkness will start to creep back in. And eventually you're just right back where you started, completely unfulfilled and searching for that next new shiny thing. The truth is that if you can't be happy with what you have now, there is nothing that you can acquire or achieve in the future that will make you happy. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are, whether you're struggling or you're well off. If you can't find the joy in your life now, you will never find it out in the world, and definitely not in the things that society tells you you'll find it in. The fact is, it is so much easier to focus our energy towards some sort of external goal than it is to look inwards at ourselves. And if you are experiencing any sort of internal emotional turmoil, the only way out is to face those things head on. If you have ADHD like me, it's especially difficult because you are naturally inclined to take the path of least resistance, the easiest way out in every single aspect of your life. And so if you can focus your hyperactivity on some sort of external goal, maybe that'll distract you from whatever hurt you have internally, right? You have to make the conscious decision to overcome your executive dysfunction and do the things that make you uncomfortable. It's so much easier to do what feels comfortable, to do what people expect of you, or even to just give up entirely. And it is so hard to commit to yourself, to commit to being better, because right now, in this very moment, you are your own worst enemy. And the only thing that you've ever known is to let this version of you win. You have to learn to go from hating yourself to loving yourself. And that's incredibly difficult, but I'm here to help you understand how. Now, I can't tell you how to fix the emotional problems in your life. That's a journey that you're gonna have to go on yourself or with your therapist. I don't know what your problems are. I don't know how to fix them. Only you can. But what I can do is offer you some perspective, a different way to think about your life, which I found to be helpful in the very long and very difficult journey of overcoming your depression. And that is a mindset of gratitude. And this is going to sound very fluffy and intangible and cliche, but trust me, it's true and it works. And I'll try to explain what I mean. Imagine yourself deep into the future, say 80 years old, and one day you wake up 50 years younger in your body now. What would you be feeling and what would you be thinking? You would feel fucking amazing, right? Your body doesn't hurt as much anymore, your bones don't ache. You look over in your bed and your partner is young again, you're young again. You would feel so lucky to have your entire life ahead of you, so many things to experience, so many ups and downs to go through. You have hopes and you have dreams and you have no idea how they're going to play out. How exciting is that, right? Like, what a privilege it is to not know how your life is going to turn out. 80-year-old you would not waste a minute wallowing in despair because they know how lucky they are to have the luxury of time and energy and youth. Maybe you're older than me or maybe you're younger than me. It doesn't matter. No matter how old you are right now in this very moment, the older version of you would do anything to be in your shoes right now. I mean, just think about how nice it would be for you to have a second chance at being a kid again, right? The possibilities are endless, right? The things you would do differently. And all you have to do is realize that right now, you are currently living a story that has yet to be written. You don't get a second chance at being a kid again, but you do have the chance to live your life right now. And I think that's what gratitude is really about. It's about appreciating every single moment of your life right now, every day. Because regardless of how bleak your life might seem, your struggles, the problems that plague you every single day, there's always tomorrow. So if you feel like giving up because you have nothing to lose, right? Fuck it. The reality is you have everything to lose and you're just not grateful for it. The reason that you don't find joy in the big achievements in your life is because they make up such a small percentage of your actual lived experiences, right? Like if you think about it, for every big milestone that you achieve, there are 100, 1,000 regular days leading up to it. The truth is that life happens every single day all around you. And it's in these everyday moments where you can be practicing gratitude. And that's where you're going to find your happiness. If only you could take a step back and see the forest for the trees. What a privilege it is to be able to walk your dog when it's freezing or raining out, or cleaning up after them when they have an accident in the house, because it means that they're still here on this earth with you. What a privilege it is to be covered in your baby's spit up all the time, because it means that you're still able to hold them. Or the fact that you still get to change their diapers because one day they won't need you for that anymore. How fortunate you are to have not yet found a partner, because that means you still get to experience what it's like to fall in love with a person. How lucky you are to not know what the future holds, because that means you still get to write your own story. What a privilege it is to be in the lowest point of your life, because that means it can only get better from here. Now, this attitude of gratitude is not going to solve all your problems, all right? Far from it. You still need to do whatever work you need to do. But in my experience, this mindset really does help with improving your mood and your outlook on life. So, if you're struggling and feeling like you want to give up, just remember that there's always tomorrow. And then there's always the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And so every time you can find something to be grateful for, no matter what it is, you might find that maybe you want to stick around a little bit longer. So good luck, and I hope that someday you'll find that your life is a little bit brighter than it is today. Thanks for listening.